Did you come to Meltonville as a child?
Yo.
Do you think, what made you remain a member of this church all these years?
I had family at this church. My parents was at this church, and I lived close by in the community. And I enjoyed coming to New Meltonville.
I remained a member of this church because of family, and I just love being a member of Meltonville.
I'm still in Wilsonville because all my family and friends is here. And I was living here for quite a while before I moved away.
All right.
What pastors do you remember? What pastors do you remember?
I remember Reverend Martin, Reverend Presley, and Pastor Stiller.
I remember Reverend E.H. Martin, Reverend Lawrence Presley, and Charles Sturger.
This way. I remember Reverend Joshua Digg from down PD Way, Reverend Watson from Winston-Salem. And then y'all know the rest of them, Reverend Martin Presley on down the line. But them and Reverend Mike Manus were before Reverend Diggs.
What's different about worship services back then and worship services today?
I remember back then, service was one Sunday, full Sunday, and you'd come to church, and you'd have to wait for Reverend Martin to come from the church that he preached at, to come to Meltonville. So we used to sit out on the churchyard about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, waiting for him to come. That's what I remember when I came to Meltonville.
I remember that Deacon would open up prayer service. I always remember Deacon Paul Crowder singing them hymns. It sort of make the hair rise on your back. It would sound so beautiful. And the hand clapping, stomping the feet, because I remember you could see dust come up out of the floor. And preaching, it was okay. Reverend Martin, he got where he couldn't hardly hear him, but I remember him rubbing his head. At his finish, he would haul out and just take both hands and just rub his head and haul out, and that was it.
I remember the church services when we would come to church, and you could hear the church services from around the curve coming from White Store. You could hear the singing and the hand clapping and the foot stomping, and you just get excited because you just couldn't get there fast enough. That's how I remember it. And I remember being baptized by Reverend Martin in the pool that we used to have by the side of the church. I remember
one thing that we never will forget as being young and teenagers, it was electric fencing going to the spring down there. And so if you were walking you would grab them and grab the wire, and it wouldn't shock you, it would shock the one that you grabbed. I had to put that part in.
I remember back here on the side, they had trees, and they would make tables out there, and set all kinds of food out there. Ham biscuit, chicken biscuit, them green beans. It wasn't cold because it was so hot during that time. And the people that didn't have the food in the trunk, they will always eat from the table that was made out there. And there were also pump out there, but I don't ever remember nobody drinking water from that pump. So I guess everybody bought their water.
I remember, the talking about the church, you could hear the music before we got there, 'cause, you know,
You all do remember when and where you were baptized? You all remember that?
I remember that I was baptized in the pool.
Okay.
I was baptized in the pool on the side of the church.
Y'all mean pond, right? Pond.
No, it was a pool.
It was a pool.
I was baptized in New Zion, and it was in the creek on the other side of New Zion. And, that was before I started coming here. And then I married, one of these guys that came to church here. And I've been coming to Melville ever since I got married to Rudolph.
I was baptized in Sandy Ridge because Newtonville was under construction at the time. So I was baptized down there at Sandy Ridge. I was christened when I was a baby, but I was Methodist. And then when I came down here with my husband, and I liked the way everything was going and the people, everybody. So I just joined down here and I've been here ever since.
Amen.
Also, I would like to say I was baptized at Melton, I was a Methodist, we were sprinkled. But when I married my husband, I wanted to stay a Methodist, but I was too far from home to stay and be a Methodist. So I had to come and join Meltonville, so I was baptized on the side of the church in that pond right there.
I was baptized from Mount Moriah, but I was baptized on a pond on White Store Road.
Do you remember, or who do you remember from the time you were young, a person that made the most spiritual impact on your life, other than your parents? Is there someone you remember who had a special effect on your life?
The one that had a special effect on my life was Miss Debbie Crowder. She was, she had this spirit with her, and it just, every time she talked to me, I would feel, more spiritual and trusted in God more because the words that she said to me.
Brother Dennis Chambers, he I was out there in the world pretty deep, and Brother Dennis Chambers, he kind of led me, helped me, he talked to me, and I kind of practiced behind him, and so I have to give him credit for even up to today, because of him, and me and him worked together a lot, practiced all through my life. As long as he lived after that, we did a lot of things, worked together and all, and I learned a lot from him, but I learned most of all from him up until now, and after he passed, and then I just kept going on with the thing that I had learned from him. So I can say he really helped me on the way.
Cousin Deal Crowder was the one that talked to me a lot when I came to Meltonville. And Damon Chambers, and these was part of my first people that I met when I came to Meltonville, and they kept talking to me. And even I got to be an usher by Demon Chambers, Deacon Damon Chambers. He asked me to be an usher, and that's when I started ushering under him.
Two people's, Sister Delia Crowder and Brother Demus Chambers. He used to put me in as superintendent, acting as superintendent. Those two was inspiration of my life doing then. They really, during that time, we flagged them down, loaded with watermelon, and we bought some watermelon from him and offered this person watermelon that gonna sell us watermelon that Mr. Baxter told us not to sell. And that was sort of, you have to be there to see it in it to really to see the funny part of it. But our cemetery is beautiful now, but back then it was just like a jungle. Jump rabbits, it was bumblebees, wasp nests, yellow jacket, and browse and everything else.
Are there any more comments that anyone would like to make? Anything special you would like to add to the video at this time?
I would like to say it just have been a great improvement of New Meltonville. I remember when I was small in the old church, we had one pop belly heater sitting in front of the pulpit, and with the pipe going up in the loft, and ain't no way that one would coal, we burnt coals in it, would keep the church warm. And now we all the way up to central air, heat and everything, and in a new facility, everything. It's been a great improvement over the last 70 years.
Just one other thing was said, Sunday school. I remember back, our adult class was something like 35, sometimes 40 people. The young adult, we had 25 to 30. Then class class C would have something like 18 to 20. In class D, you would have, I think we had 4 or 5 classes. I think we had 5 classes. Anyway, we had a lot of people was coming to church, but we noticed that most of them gone, died out, but the Lord will make a way. He said, what have been will be again. And that's going to happen again.
If there are no more comments, this concludes our video of our story for His glory. We thank you for your participation, and have a blessed rest of the day.